Hi friends! Today, we're making a super yummy abalone soup. If you've never heard of abalone, it's a kind of shellfish that's soft, sweet, and really special. Don't worry, it's not hard to make this soup at all. We're using chicken broth, some chicken pieces, and mushrooms to make it extra tasty. Let's get started together. We'll begin with dried shiitake mushrooms. They have a deep, earthy flavor and a chewy texture that adds so much richness to the soup. If you don't have dried shiitake mushrooms, fresh ones work too. They'll still taste great. First, we need to soak the dried mushrooms in water to make them soft. This will take some time. When the shiitake mushrooms have soaked up enough water and become nice and soft, take them out of the water. Squeeze out the extra water gently, then cut off the stems. Slice the mushroom caps into thin strips and set them aside. Next, let's prepare the chicken. Today, I'm using chicken thighs. First, I'll remove the bones. Then, I'll cut the meat into small pieces. The goal is to make the chicken pieces small enough to fit nicely into individual servings of the soup. Don't forget about the chicken bones. Put them in the pot as well. The bones are full of flavor and will make the chicken broth even more delicious. Next, it's time to prepare the ingredients for the chicken broth. We'll need some ginger, garlic, and green onions. Add the prepared mushrooms to the pot. Then pour in 5 cups of water. Make sure the water fully covers the chicken and all the other ingredients. Place the pot on the stove and turn the heat to high. Add a small splash of cooking wine for extra flavor. When the broth starts boiling, use a slotted spoon to skim off the foam and remove the green onions. This helps keep the chicken broth clear and clean. Now, it's time to season the soup with 1 teaspoon of salt. Cover the pot with a lid and let it simmer for 20 minutes. This will allow all the flavors to come together beautifully. Finally, it's time for the star of today's dish, abalone. If you can get fresh abalone, go for it. Fresh ones have a better flavor compared to frozen ones. Since I'm making soup for 4 people, I'll be using 4 abalones. Now, I'm going to make crosshatch cuts on the surface of the abalone. Be careful not to cut all the way through. This helps the abalone cook evenly and allows it to soak up all the flavors of the soup. Plus, it makes the presentation look extra nice. At the same time, I'll prepare some chopped chives. These will be used as a garnish to add a fresh, bright flavor and make the soup look even more appetizing when served. Once our delicious chicken broth is ready, we can preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. At this point, we need to taste the soup and adjust the salt as needed. Add more salt to suit your taste if necessary. Next, we'll prepare 4 individual serving containers. I'll be using small cast iron pots because they look so unique and special. But feel free to use any oven-safe containers you like. Place 1 abalone into each pot. Add the cooked chicken pieces and mushrooms into each cast iron pot. Then, pour the chicken broth over them, making sure the abalone and chicken are fully covered. Place the cast iron pots into the preheated oven. After 10 minutes, your delicious abalone soup is ready. This dish is not just a treat for the taste buds, but also a showstopper for any dinner party. Served in individual cast iron pots, it feels both luxurious and personal, instantly elevating your table setting. You can add a few goji berries if you have them. They'll add a pop of color and a hint of natural sweetness to the soup. And that's it. I hope you give this recipe a try. Let me know how it turns out in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.